it's a shame that we see in some cities across the country that their mayors are just simply refusing to cooperate because they don't like Donald Trump.
Here is Karoline Leavitt, White House spokesperson, talking about why the National Guard is still in D.C., which, by the way, D.C. right now, no crime. Basically zero crime. Again, Google it. Do people still use Google? What do people use these days? DuckDuckGo it yourself. But here's Karoline Leavitt on what's going on in D.C. right now.
The president says that Portland is burning, using that as justification for the National Guard in Portland. But when you look here in Washington, D.C., the president just last week said it is now a completely safe city, and there are still National Guard members on the streets that are not involved in ICE activities. Can you provide the justification for the White House here in Washington, D.C., why the National Guard members continue to be out on the streets?
Because Washington, D.C. has invited the National Guard here. Why? Because the mayor is doing the right thing, unlike mayors in other cities like Portland, as Caitlin and others have pointed out, who refuse to see that there are positive results from when local law enforcement works with federal law enforcement to do the right thing on behalf of their citizens. And Washington, D.C. is no doubt a safer city right now, today, than it was a few months ago when President Trump started this initiative to make D.C. safe again. And the National Guard is still here because the president and the mayor agree that it's a good thing for the city. Just like you're seeing in Memphis, for instance. We'll have National Guard deployed to Memphis. We have federal agents who are on the ground working with state and local law enforcement. The state police in Tennessee are part of this effort. The local metropolitan police in Memphis are part of this effort. State and local law enforcement and federal law enforcement should be working together. And it's a shame that we see in some cities across the country that their mayors are just simply refusing to cooperate because they don't like Donald Trump. And that's what this boils down to. And I don't think any American would disagree that Chicago needs more law enforcement reinforcements, that they need more resources. Look at this headline from over the weekend. At least 30 people shot during the weekend in Democrat-run Chicago. 5 of them were killed in one weekend. This is completely unacceptable, and the president wants to make American cities safer, and he's willing to work with anyone to do it.
If the courts allow you to ultimately send in the National Guard into Chicago and Portland, do Democrats not have reason to be concerned that there are long-term plans by this administration to keep U.S. military or the National Guard in American cities, like what we're seeing here in Washington?
Why should they be concerned about the federal government offering help to make their cities a safer place? They should be concerned about this. They should be concerned about the fact that people in their cities right now are being gunned down every single night, and the president, all he's trying to do is fix it. And there has been a complete smear campaign by the Democrats and the media, quite frankly. I was reading Political Playbook this morning, one of the most inside the Beltway newsletters you can find. And you guys are framing this like the president wants to take over the American cities with the military. The president wants to help these local leaders who have been completely ineffective in securing their own cities. And we have already seen there's a positive formula for that. Look at Washington, D.C. The murder rate has declined significantly. Our streets are safer. People who live here feel safer. All of you in this room, I know you do, you just won't admit it. And it's a proven system that works, and the president wants to make America's cities safe again. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Do you owe back taxes? Did you forget to file for an extension? The October 15th deadline is fast approaching and time is running out. If you haven't gathered your documents or made estimated payments, the IRS could soon come after you. And when they do, they can garnish your wages, freeze your bank accounts, or even seize your property. But there's help. Tax Network USA, a nationwide tax firm, has already helped taxpayers save over $1 billion in tax debt. They filed hundreds of thousands of returns and assisted thousands of people in reducing what they owe, and they can help you too. Don't wait. Visit tnusa.com/Dave or call 1-800-958-1000 for a completely free consultation. In just one short call, the experts at Tax Network USA will walk you through a few simple questions to see how much you can save. Take action now before it's too late. That's tnusa.com/Dave or call 1-800-958-1000. You know, what's interesting about this is, think about it this way. If D.C. was safe and clean, and we go to D.C. several times a year, and it's just not. I would say it's gotten a little bit better in the last year, and I haven't been there since they've started this second push, which I guess started in August when I was off the grid, but when they really started cleaning it up. But it had started to get a little bit better. But if it was safe and clean, do you think Donald Trump would be bringing the National Guard in? Obviously not. Obviously not. There would be no reason to do it. It would not make any sense. Is Donald Trump just like, you think that they have a map of the United States in the Oval Office and they're just throwing darts and like, okay, send the National Guard in there, send the National Guard in there. No, they're going to Portland, which we know has been an epic for a decade. They're going to Chicago, where more young black people are killed than anywhere else. So it is targeted to clean it up. And the issue seems to be that the very people who create the problem in the first place, then they get, because they never look at the mirror. They never go, am I the baddie? Did I do all this? They never do it. What they do is they double down on their BS.